Hello and welcome to this week's Warrior Sunday Night Live. And whether you're watching this live with me here and now or you're watching it back on replay, say a big hello. It's always so great to connect with you. If you are watching this live, it will no doubt, especially if you're on Facebook, it will no doubt pop something up. Just click accept because then I get to see who I'm speaking to. So let's jump straight into it. Now, I'm sure many of you will have heard about this notorious 5 a.m. club that in order to be successful, you have to be a part of. Now, I was once a part of that club, like openly say it. I've got the book. I've got the all of the different videos and courses and mindset hacks for that 5 a.m. start. And when I reflect back over my journey, like, don't get me wrong, I felt great doing it. I felt great doing it. And I used to literally set my alarm for between 5 and 5:30. I'd have a routine of about an hour, hour and a half where I would meditate. I'd do my cards, I would journal, I would do a visualization. Then I'd go and exercise at 7 a.m. Then I'd come in and have like my super green smoothie. I'd read 5 pages of a book every day. And then I fell pregnant with twins. Okay, so I'm sort of sharing a bit of a backstory here. I fell pregnant with twins, and one of my first thoughts was like, great. Like, what am I going to do now? My success, I had been told so many times by mentors, by these professionals that write these books, that in order to be a leader, in order to be happy, healthy, successful, abundant, you've got to start your day this bright and early way with like birds tweeting in your ears and oming and meditation. And I genuinely thought, like, great, like, what am I actually going to do? I can't kid myself and think that having one baby, never mind two, that I'm going to be able to still keep up this like miraculous miracle morning routine. So I made a decision, and I'm going to open this up to you now and share with you to see if this resonates with you. If you are ever in a place where you're like, do you know what? I'm just not a morning person, or you need a bit of a shake up with your mindset. You feel like there's just something missing. You haven't got to be setting your alarm at 5 a.m. You can, and this is coming from, again, someone who has had to completely adapt her routine and when I work on my mindset and how I work on my mindset. And I'm going to share a few things with you now on not only how you can actually do it, but I'm actually going to go as far as saying I am just as happy. And if not, my business has grown. If I was to say it from a career business point of view, my business is more of a success than it was when I was getting up at 5 a.m. Like, and that's through a pandemic with twins glued to my hip. So it really is what you decide it to be. So a few things. Do what works for you. Do what works for you. And I'm going to say this, and it's going to be quickly followed by something. When you can do it. Now, I have to say with this one, that doesn't mean waiting till you find the time, because we all hear that phrase, don't we? If nothing changes, if nothing changes. We're not just going to find motivation. We're not just going to find time. So I would suggest the first things first is recognizing what works for you, what makes you tick, what gets you feeling inspired, motivated, positive, uplifted, energized. Like, what is it that does it for you? I know some clients read, some love to journal, some it's exercise. They cannot go a day without doing something for them. For some, it's yoga. For others, it's watching something motivational, listening to podcasts. Gratitudes is like an across the board one, I find, and it's a big one I use. I'll share a bit of my routine in a sec. So play around with what works for you, and it's an intention. The key thing here is setting an intention that no matter what, It might not be at a certain time of day, but no matter what, you're going to do those one or two things that help to raise you up, what I like to call the alignment ladder. So if we were to imagine that like being in full alignment is the top of this ladder, like what gets you from feeling like that morning glum, anxious, overwhelmed, like what's going to help to get you going? And whether you've got the time in the morning or lunchtime, do it whenever works for you. I've got some clients that listen to meditations before going to bed. I've got others that commit to doing things on their lunch break because they just know that the mornings are chaos. So find what works for you and then commit to doing those things. Don't wait until it finds you because it just doesn't. I did try that. I'll just wait. And then I was like, God, I've not done anything for weeks. And I really felt it in my energy. And then commit to it. Once you've found what works for you and helps to shift you up that alignment ladder and feel more yourself on top of your well-being, it's committing to it then. And this isn't doing it for me. It isn't doing it because it might look cute on Instagram. It isn't doing it for, it's doing it for you. And you being that pebble in the pond effect that it has on everything, whether that is career, business, friends, family, the world, like the pebble in the pond effect it has by you looking after you, making you a priority. It's indescribable, and it's definitely indispensable. You can't put that to one side. So a little thing about what I do, here's say like 5 things that I find really work for me. One being, this is like complete ad hoc, these ones. So one being, I love doing my cards. So it tends to be in the morning, whenever, some point throughout the day. I tend to pull, I will just show you just like an example. So, like oracle, energy, affirmation, spiritual, I've got angel, meditation, psychic tarot. I will turn to one of those because it's a really quick thing to do. I love them. And I will have a quick shuffle. I'll see which ones tickle my fancy. Have a quick shuffle, pull what I like to call an inspiration card for the day. And then I tend to, if I've got a question or I want a bit of guidance or I just want to feel like, what do I need to know? What could be a message of inspiration for today? And like, it's incredible what comes through in them. But you could also do it with books. So let's say, for example, if this is a book, this is my moon journal, you could literally go like that, open up a page of inspiration and just read the one page. Doing something for you, I find, that isn't just depending on your thoughts, isn't just depending on you, your health, your mental health. Since tuning in more to my spiritual side, energy, it has transformed my life and business, completely transformed my life and business. I'm happier, healthier. I'm my ideal weight, that even when I was working in the gyms and dieting and on lifestyle plans and this and that, I couldn't get my body to. Yet since having, it sounds nuts when I say it, but since having twins and seeing myself more than just weight, body, etc., and really tuning into what feels right for me and intuitively being guided, my body weight is exactly what I used to write down and like say I really want to be. So I'm sharing that because there's so much more than just meditation and spirituality. It can impact all areas of your life. It was a big one for us in fertility. So definitely recommend, if you're open to it, a quick card pull takes maybe 60 to 90 seconds. If you follow me on Instagram, you no doubt see I often take a picture and share because the cards are just beautiful. Another thing I do is I listen to audiobooks and podcasts on the go. Whether that is in the shower, I sometimes just listen to a bit of music. I do sometimes just completely have silence. I can't lie, because it's like, what has today been? That's me holding onto the shower wall like, wow. I call it a twinado. The twins are like 1.5 years old now. So it's like, wow, okay, deep breath. But I also listen to, I'll put my phone on the side and I will put on a bit of my audiobook, and it feels good because I'm doing something for me. I'm not listening to Mr. Tumble. I'm not listening to freaking Baby Shark. I'm listening to someone inspiring, something that's educational, something that's funny, motivational. So that's another one. I also listen to that on the go if I'm walking, tiny snippets of time, tiny snippets of time. The other things I do is I keep a book in the bathroom. Maybe too much information, but I'm just being honest. I keep a book in the bathroom 9 out of 10 times. If I go for a wee, I'll read a page or I'll reread a chapter. Like I will often just sit, like reread a paragraph. So then tends to be, I'll get through a couple of pages a day. So you've got to really adapt with what works for you. I know for some you might be like, oh, that's awful. Why would you ever read or sat on the toilet? Well, because if I didn't, when would I have chance to read? When I'm either with my children, spending time with my family and friends, or nurturing and growing a multifaceted business now. It isn't just my clients. There's a membership, there's products, there's all sorts going on. So there's a lot of different things. So I utilize the time. It works really, really well. Another thing is getting outdoors. It's such a typical one, but I definitely aim to get outside at least once a day for a nice walk, and tend to just try and be present. Either if I'm on my own with the dog, I'll shove my headphones in. If I'm with the boys, depending on the day, I might put my headphones in. But otherwise, it's just getting outside and taking it in and breathing. And I would say my fourth or fifth one is gratitude. It is so deeply embedded now because I would write down my gratitude every single day. Every single day. I am so happy and grateful for. And that might be people, places, opportunities, things that I'm inviting in. You don't just have to be grateful for what you've got. You can be grateful for what you're open to, what you're willing in, what you're ready to feel. That is tapping into manifestation law of attraction. It's really, really powerful stuff. So gratitude. And then because like other than sort of like I shared, like this moon journal, I absolutely adore. I do have another journal that if I feel like a download or something intuitive coming through, other than that, it's in my head. I now think of my gratitudes every single day in my head, all day long. And I'm so grateful for that. Even if it's something that's like I'm sat in traffic, I'm like, I'm so grateful that I got a car. I'm so grateful that I'm able to go and pick my boys up from nursery rather than having to walk because I've not got a choice. So really leaning into what you can be grateful for on the go. If you've not got time to write it down, don't not do it. You've got to just adapt and do what works for you. Because rewind 2-3 years ago, I was saying it has to be written down. You have to write down your gratitudes because then you can really feel it. Because that's all I knew. That's all I got told. That's what all the gurus were saying. And I'm gonna call it out and say, as long as you can feel that in your heart and you are in that place of gratitude in the moment, that is as powerful, if not more powerful, than writing it down. I'm going to say it's completely on par with keeping a gratitude journal, but you have to commit to doing it and feeling it and really embracing that. And that was my fourth one, I'm going to add another one in. Bringing your heart into coherence through breathing. I'll do this a lot throughout the day. And simply, you breathe in through your nose, you take a conscious breath in, so you focus on your breathing. And then I envision that I'm sending my breath down and exhaling out through my heart. This is called taking your brain and heart into coherence. Your brain is becoming aware, even though it knows your heart's there, but it's going, hello. And it's activating the connection between on a conscious and unconscious level. But you are acknowledging your heart's electromagnetic energy. And when you're breathing and channeling that through, you feel it. And without going into this, I'll save this for a completely different live. That is the greatest awakening for your intuition than you could ever begin to imagine. So if you are ever feeling anxious, overwhelmed, it's such a quick way to begin to shift that as well. But breathing in through your nose, and if you just guide the breath down, you're obviously breathing out through your mouth. But you can do it. You can do it with your eyes open. Just practice breathing that breath down and allowing it to exhale out through your heart. If you're ever feeling like you've got a heaviness, you've got a tightness in the chest, anything like that, I promise, practice this tomorrow. So a little bit of a recap. Cards. I love them. Cards, or quick inspiration card, or flicking through a book and picking a page, listening to podcasts, audiobooks, on the go, wherever you can. Pick and choose your time. There's no rule. There are a lot of people that say that you have to follow this structure and rule, but yeah, I'm totally calling it out. You do you when it comes to your mental health and well-being and spiritual connection. Gratitude, massive one, and eating well, tuning into your intuition. Yeah. So I would love to know which ones of these resonated with you, which ones you're going to try for yourself, and share with me, share with us what works for you. Because there's so many other things that I will do. Those are like kind of my 5 quick go-to ones. Candles is another one. I love lighting candles and just taking a few deep breaths. Centering myself is what I call it. But yeah, I would love to hear, what do you do for you, or what are you willing to commit to doing for you, for your well-being, that doesn't have to be at 5 a.m. in any particular club. So I'm going to say enjoy the rest of your evening. If you haven't and you're watching this on YouTube, click subscribe below, and there will be, of course, weekly videos coming up so you can see those. If you aren't already, come and join us in the Awaken the Warrior Facebook group. There is a brand new 5-day challenge coming in November. I'm sharing the information for that soon. It's going to be epic. Often doing lives, meditations, there's posts. It's a fantastic community. So come on over and join us. But yes, Kimberly, yes to it all. Christine, I do that at traffic lights. I'm guessing that that's the breathing and stuff. Kim, I'm so glad to hear that. So Kim, quick example, works in, well, you have a few different jobs, don't you? But down in London, does a lot of musical theatre in some cracking productions and shows. Definitely one to follow. Head over to Instagram or Facebook. And like in the entertainment business, you can't have set times for certain things. There's so many things. It's like being a parent. You just don't have to put yourself in a box, do you? So, and I know what has happened since you've been exercising and putting these into practice. So definitely a really, really good example there. Karen, so good to hear from you. Definitely candles. With this weather as well, bringing scents into it, your senses into it, that beautiful light. Naturally, from a really young age, we tend to see candles as a connection. If you were ever in church, if you were ever like at Christmas time. So we've naturally got quite a positive imprinted relationship with candlelight. And a lot of storybooks tend to have candlelight in as well. So it's a really positive connotation. So it makes us feel good. So I will love you and leave you there. Thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to seeing you very soon on another live. Take care. Bye, bye, bye.